Shalom, WJC family. It's time for our weekly Torah talk. This week in Shul, we'll be reading Parshat Chayei Sarah, the incredible romantic story of the search by Abraham's servant Eliezer for a suitable bride for Abraham's son Isaac, or Yitzchak. And Abraham doesn't want Isaac marrying a local Canaanite person, so he sends Eliezer back towards Ur Kasdim, back towards where they came from, to find a suitable spouse. Eliezer devises this very romantic test of kindness, which Rebecca passes with flying colors, and he knows this is the person. But here's the important part. Rivka is one of our great matriarchs, takes into her hands, in many ways, the future of the Jewish people, has her own conversations, her own revelation from God. She's a Niviah, a prophetess. But her family, maybe not as nice. And we learn that Eliezer goes back to her father's tent, there to meet Rivka's mother and brother, a guy named Lavan, or Laban. Now, Lavan is not such a nice guy. And before they leave, though, he offers Rivka, actually, in fact, he and his mother together, which is interesting, offer Rivka a blessing. They say, V'yivrchu et Rivka, Vayirchu et Rivka, vayomru la. They blessed Rivka and said to her, Achotenu at chayi la'alfei rivava. Our sister, may you be like thousands of myriads, vayirash zarech et sha'ar sonav. May your offspring, your descendants, seize the gates of their foes. What's interesting about this blessing? It comes from Lavan. Lavan Harasha, the rabbis call him, the evil one. Why? I mean, in the Haggadah, when we read Arami Oved Avi, this quote from Deuteronomy, an Aramean pursued my father, we say that Aramean is Laban, that he chased Jacob out of his house with armies after tricking him, having Jacob marry Leah instead of Rachel. Laban is not considered to be a good guy, but he gives this beautiful blessing. And even though the blessing comes from Lavan Harasha, we still invoke this very blessing to this day at weddings. During the ceremony called the Bidekin, the veiling of the bride, it is customary to tell the bride, Achotenu at chayila alfei rivava. Sometimes the groom will say that blessing. Many times the parents will say that blessing, or the rabbi will say that blessing. So why would it be that for 3,500 years, give or take, since this time, we have been using this evil one, this wicked one's blessing, to bless all our couples? Can you get blessing from such a wicked place? And the answer seems to be yes. But the rabbis have real issues with this. And we read in one midrash in Bereshit Rabbah, they say, well, we so don't like these people. It says that they sent him away and blessed her, but they were downcast and despondent that she was going. And they blessed her only with their mouths, right? They said these words, and they're pretty words. We'll even use these words for all of history, but they didn't really mean it. They were really sad. Two rabbis come along, Rabbi Berechia and Rabbi Levi, in the name of Hama Bar Hanina, say, why was Rebecca granted to have children only after Isaac prays for her? Right? We're told later that Rebecca couldn't have children, and Isaac prays on her behalf, which is, again, very romantic. They are the most romantic, most loving couple among the matriarchs and patriarchs, maybe in the Torah, maybe in the Bible. Isaac prays on her behalf, we're told. So they say, why did it go out of its way to tell us that Isaac prayed on her behalf? And they answer, because they didn't want it to be that you would think that the blessing of Laban and Rebekah's mother was the one that allowed her to have children, right? That these wicked ones shouldn't be able to say, it's because of us that the Jewish people prosper. Again, not the most flattering interpretation. And yet, we still continue to say this blessing to this day. And the interpretations are wide-ranging. I loved, there's um, a comment on this from the responsa B'nai Banim, who actually uses this blessing the uh, because Rivka's mother is involved in it, to say that women actually can participate in weddings, even say the Sheva Brachot, be involved with the Masader Kedushin, which is the creation of a wedding. It's a very liberal interpretation from this, and maybe that's why the blessing stuck with us, because it's actually made by a man and a woman. And it tells us that women can be involved in marriages. Obviously, in the conservative movement now, we ordain women, and of course they can be. But this is a very progressive view in its time. Perhaps the most important lesson, perhaps what it's trying to tell us, is the power of love. Right? Chayei Sarah is a romantic parsha, and this story is a romantic story. And whether Laban means, Lavan HaRasha, the evil one, means to really be blessing Rivka on her journey and her future marriage to Yitzchak, or whether he has some other ulterior motive, as he seems to do in so many other stories in the Torah, perhaps the Torah is telling us it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That we can even accept a blessing from a Rasha. That even a Rasha has a blessing to offer. Right? Someone who seems evil, who seems wicked. Someone who we might dismiss as beneath us because of something they've done. That we shouldn't miss the fact that there too we can find a blessing, maybe the greatest blessing, maybe the blessing of a bride and groom, the joy and the happiness of future generations. The lesson here seems to be we shouldn't dismiss anyone. And we shouldn't presume to know everything about a person because we know one or two things about a person. And that spirit is hard to understand and runs deep and is in each and every person, whatever their deeds have been, whatever their history, and even from such a person, maybe sometimes especially from such a person, the most beautiful blessings can be gleaned. May we all find the blessings in the wicked things in our lives. May we all rise up to, with the power of those blessings, raise others up and find success and happiness and joy and, yes, even love. Wish you a Shabbat Shalom.